Hello and welcome everyone, I'm the Eccentric Cowboy here on PrimRP. As you can see, I've been getting a little bit of work done. I actually wish, after my first session, I wish I had kept going because right after I logged off with the recording, I met up with another guy, Vantris, I believe. And he's a really good role player. I was getting some odd vibes from him, but we actually have a really good dynamic going. His character, like, inherited this company and this fantastic base, Laguna Negra. I freaking love it. And, our characters just kind of naturally hit it off. He was very friendly and outgoing, and I wanted my character to be kind of gruff. I wanted to, play someone a little bit different from the usual goody-two-shoes I always play. But the guy was just so nice and outgoing that my character couldn't be mad at him. He couldn't find fault with him at all. So, we just kind of naturally hit it off. He gave me some stuff to work with. Just kind of invited me into his whole base, which is fantastic. So, I really can't complain. So yeah, I joined up with his clan. He's a great role player, too. It's only the two of us at the moment. And we are at risk of attack from these cavemen guys, basically. I haven't yet met them, but apparently the guy he inherited it from got killed by him, so we're looking for one or two extra guys. So if you're interested, if you're on this server or planning on joining, and want to be with a pretty darn good clan, look this up. Crap, I forget the name of the company. I'm so bad with names. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it right now. Like, I started gaming with this guy, and we were just having a blast. Such good character interactions. And this might be the first time I actually get involved with, like, clan warfare or raids. See, I'm not a person that likes power gaming. I don't like getting in conflicts with other people. I'm very peaceful. I've always done, like, PvE servers and stuff. Oh, sweet, a black pearl. Ignore that you saw that. You didn't see that. There's no need for you to try and raid me for that. But yeah, just the way the character interactions are going, like this guy has put out a bounty on the head of this one, caveman who killed the guy he was working for. So there's actually lots of good reasons for my character to actually get involved in combat now. My guy's been hired as the muscle. He's the guy who kind of follows orders. For the most part, he just does it if he wants to, but this guy was just so nice, he has no reason not to listen to what he's talking about. So, we're good on that front. And, man, just this role-playing adds so much depth. I'm so freaking happy. I was having so much fun. I can't believe I didn't do it sooner. And I do hope I get involved in some combat soon. Not a lot, but a little bit. Because, I've discovered that on this server, the weapons are, like the flintlocks, are not quite as effective as they are in single player. And, like, here, just a demonstration. Actually, no. I'll use this one to demonstrate. Boom. Right there, missed entirely. I think you could see the dirt kick up below it. Boom, missed again. So this isn't just my aim. The things are much more accurate to actual flintlocks, whereas before they were freaking on target. Musket is a little bit better, but not a lot. Oh, hit him, and it's not as powerful. Like, normally that would just kill outright. But no, not here, not here. And I did not know that when I first started, so that was kind of a nasty shock. And okay, reload quickly. Ooh, I really like this music. Ow! Nope, no attacking the ship. Yeah, and I cannot wait for Macablo to upload his, next mod. The next update for the mod. Because apparently there's going to be a Kentucky rifle, and quite a bit of other stuff, and I'm hoping the Kentucky rifle has greater range and power. Because that is what I need. Yep, sorry. Oh, Cancrovantus. Yeah, that's the guy who I'm with. Anyway, yeah. Whoa! Okay. Yeah, I still like the muskets and stuff, but man, they don't have the power that I was kind of spoiled with before. Oh, dang, look at that. Look at him go. Okay, okay. Yeah, this is turning out to be a little more dangerous than I initially anticipated. But for demonstrational purposes, I wanted to do that. So if you thought that the flintlocks were OP before, well, this balances that out. I mean, you're almost better off using the crossbow. Okay. Getting the stuff. Oh, way better. Yeah, I love the... Oh yeah, in the first episode I did of this, I said I wish there was a lower tier version of the sickle, and sure enough, they have it with crap, I forget what the mod is, but yeah, they made it so that you can have this little keratin sickle. It's really fun. I'm very, very pleased with that. You know, that's one of the things I love about this game. Every time I want something, someone tends to do it. It's like they can read my mind. But aren't traumatized by what they see and just kind of give me what my subconscious wants. So, yeah, I'm pleased with that. Yeah, right now I'm just gathering some materials and stuff, doing a little bit of exploration. And, yeah, I've been thinking a lot on dinosaur media in general. It's such a, it's always been a little bit niche, but invariably popular. Okay, that might not be entirely correct. The way I'm saying it doesn't make sense. See, this is why I'm a writer, not a speaker. But I'm trying to evolve past that. Let's see, do I want to try and get some stuff here? Yeah, I'm going to dock here. I've always liked this little peninsula and this little outcropping here. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about dinosaurs and literature. I love video games. I love games with dinosaurs. I love Turok. I love Ark. And quite a few others. I actually got a little caveman-style game not long ago. That one's... I haven't yet tested it, but I will in the near future. I love dinosaurs in comics. They're freaking everywhere when you really think about it. But they always kind of got their start from books. And it's very interesting to me just how the history has gone. Just the way they go in storytelling, it's inherently limited. Because they're extinct, there are only a very few ways that you can work them into stories. So I usually give them a little bit more leeway when it comes to cliches because there's so little you can do. Well, there's a lot you can do, but you're basically going to come down to 5 or 6 styles, and I'm going to list them off. First one is the Lost World or Relic population, and the first person to do this, as far as I know, was Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, with his infamous book, The Lost World. That one really kind of set the genre, and if you haven't read it, it's a fantastic book. You know, even if you're not a lit person, it's very entertaining. There's a reason why that guy is being read even today. Ooh, I love this spooky atmosphere. I feel like a conquistador. Conquistador. Okay, gonna stop trying to speak Spanish. Target spotted. What was I saying? Yeah, The Lost World. Excellent book, and most books for a while just kind of went from that angle. The idea of these relic populations being in like an isolated canyon, isolated valley, and... Whoa! Jeez! On guard! Relic populations, some far-off land, or individual dinosaurs surviving, or somehow being brought back from... like being frozen in ice. That one's been popular. You know, it happened a few times in movies from the 50s, like The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. That's a pretty fun movie, actually. Yeah, it's a very common trope, but it's very effective, especially if used correctly. Second one, and probably one of the most popular, is time travel. been done very effectively. One of the best-known versions, I think, was, or examples, was A Sound of Thunder by Ray Bradbury, which is a good book, but it never really won me over. In my opinion, one of the best is, like, for time travel safaris, is actually A Gun for a Dinosaur by Sprague de Camp. I don't think I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but hopefully nobody will kill me for that mistake. Yeah, it's a very good book. He actually did a lot of research on safaris and, what happens in those situations. Not a lot of people actually know. Like, you hear about stuff, but, very few people will actually read what things happen in actual safaris. It's very fascinating to me. And he got one part very correct in that, most of the problems on safari come from the clients. Some are really good guys, they have an idea what they're doing, they're humble, they listen to their PH. Others are freaking idiots. If you haven't read the book, Death in the Long Grass by Peter Capstick, he was working as a professional hunter in Africa and the Mato Grosso of Brazil for many years. His writing style is hysterical. It has this brilliant dry sarcasm and just these really funny stories that you can't make up. Like, I wish I could, but I can't. I'm not that creative. Yeah, gives you a really good idea of how those things kind of work. Yeah, and people are still using the time travel gimmick very effectively. Not too long ago, I read I believe it was independently published book called Groom of the Tyrannosaur Queen. Oh, yay, getting hydrated again. It was a very, very cool book. It was a mixture of, like, paleo, you had dinosaurs, it had lots of actually really good science. This guy really went out of his way to make sure that it was accurate with paleontological stuff. But it also had some mill sci-fi, so that was kind of cool. You had these people go back in time to a different time zone, just trying to research dinosaurs. They've got this cool tech, but then there are freaking cavemen there. I'm not going to spoil too much, but it was a very interesting book. The writer just had so much skill in his craft. It was such a breath of fresh air. Not to imply that other people are really bad, but some people have room for improvement. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, this one was very, very good. Look it up. Groom of the Tyrannosaur Queen. Really like that one. And put away some of my stuff. Okay, I got really sidetracked there. I apologize, people. I get really enthusiastic about this stuff. I just get so energetic. Okay, Groom of the Tyrannosaur Queen. Very, very good. Other time travel ones that I have not read, there's a freaking lot. Okay, one of the other most common ones, very popular today, is cloning. And, of course, you think of Jurassic Park, and rightfully so. That was, that is the best-known version of cloning for dinosaurs. Although, he wasn't the, Michael Crichton who wrote the book. I love the book. I love the movie. I actually really liked Jurassic World. Not so fond of The Lost World and, Jurassic Park 3. Although the toys were freaking awesome. That was my childhood. There were a few others who did it before him, I believe. There was a Johnny Quest episode in the 80s. By the way, Johnny Quest, really freaking awesome. Go with the 60s version, though. The 80s version, there was this mad scientist who basically, like, used the essence of dinosaur bones to recreate them. There was a book that also predated Jurassic Park called Carnosaur. I haven't read it, but I've heard that it's pretty decent. It's like a book version of a violent B-movie, an action B-movie. I hope to read it someday. I have quite a big reading list. But if that name sounds familiar, that's because they actually made a movie out of it. But do not watch the movie Carnosaur. Seriously, do not watch it. It is one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my entire freaking life. Like, I don't even want to discuss it right now because it's fascinating in how bad it is. Most movies are bad because they're just, you know, they have a stupid plot, lack of characters, they do idiotic things, the writers don't know what they're doing, bad cinematography. Carnosaur is bad in so many ways that I honestly can't describe it. Like, I honestly can't remember most of it. Like, there's been one or two movies where they affected me so badly, I basically kind of repressed the memory. With Carnosaur, though, it's so bad, I can't really remember what goes on in it. It's so weird. It's like a vacuum. It leaves, like, a negative impression on your mind. Like, I can only take a few things away from it. I've watched it twice. First was out of curiosity, because I was just, you know, I was in my teens, and I was just desperate for any sort of, you know, weird B movies I could find. And then I watched it again, just out of curiosity, because I vaguely remembered it. But, oh my gosh, I can barely take anything away from it. It's so strange. Like, there's women laying dinosaur eggs, there's a virus going around that's just infecting all these eggs, there's a dinosaur in a truck full of chickens, there's a black sheriff, there's a fight between a T-Rex and a forklift, or an excavator, and I say this stuff, and you might be thinking, well, that sounds really interesting. But, like, those are just the highlights that I just somehow managed to take away out of this haze of confusion. Like, it's almost like waking up from a dream where there's no coherency or consistency. You just have these pieces that feel so bizarre, even with context, that do not make sense or fit together. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna move on, because that one takes me pretty close to insanity. I don't want to discuss it that much more. Okay, back to the book stuff and the realm of sanity. There's the fourth method of dinosaur storytelling, which was actually so obvious that for the longest time I never really recognized it consciously. And that is stories without humans. You just do it from the POV of the dinosaurs. One of the best examples, I think, is the movie Raptor Red, which I have not actually read, but I've heard it's decent. And there's quite a few others. You know, it's very common in kids' books, and they work pretty well. I had some of those as a kid. Really enjoyed those. There were three in particular that just really enraptured me at a young age. And now and then, you see animated movies doing that. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Disney's Dinosaur was not that good. Very drab, very generic. But some are a little more innovative. I appreciate those. And let's see, the fifth? Yeah, the fifth one is, I don't know if I should put this in like the relic population one or the Lost World one, but it's so different I kind of consider it a separate thing. And that is dinosaurs in space. And no, that is not a joke. People have done that. I've heard it's been done in Star Trek, where like dinosaurs left Earth, right before the extinction. Now they're living in one of the other quadrants. I'm not a Trekkie, so I don't know all the details, but I know it exists. So I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. And a very recent and very good example of that style was Dinosaur Wars. And I forget the author's name. Oh, actually, let me look it up really quick. It'll only take a second, people. You come this far, you can last a few seconds. Thomas P. Hoppe. It's a trilogy with a few other sequel stories, just kind of loosely connected offshoots. And it's fascinating. The main characters are pretty much archetypes. They're very generic. But it's a story that, like, they're written well enough that you can at least be like, okay, I can enjoy these people as, like, a vehicle for this story. And it's actually very interesting. There are some parts he does magnificently well. Others, I think, needed a little work. Like, it was kind of funny, is that there's this professor character named Dr. Ogilvy, just Dr. O. And every time I read his stuff, he sounds exactly like another scientist from another dinosaur story called, Valley of Gwangi. Really fun movie, actually. This guy named Professor something or other. I don't freaking remember. But he just had this very distinct persona, very posh British. Just I have no commercial interest in this endeavor. You know, I am a man of science. And every time I read this character's lines, I heard that voice in my head. It was really funny. But you also have, like, it was a... Oh, sorry, there's just so much in there, I start losing track. There are sentient dinosaurs that basically saw the end of the world coming, and oh my goodness gracious. That is... Dang it, don't freeze. Don't freeze up. Oh crap, if this freezes up again, I'm gonna be upset. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna start turning home now. Yeah, I want none of this. No. Do not freeze up. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there are these sentient dinosaurs that saw the end of the world coming, basically, the asteroid, and set up a genetic reproduction center on the moon. And humanity has accidentally reactivated it. They got stuff going on up there, and they start trying to retake Earth. It's very fascinating. They actually have lasers. They have these little dinosaur mechs. They're trying to repopulate the planet with prehistoric wildlife. Very, very fun stuff. Although I also get the impression that the author really freaking hates poachers. Like, there are a few different poachers in there. And they die horribly. Like, it's a very interesting vibe. Okay, yeah, heading back to base now. Sorry that I didn't deliver more adventure, but... Yeah, dinosaurs in space. Oh, another example. Very, very good. This one is not really Dinopunk or paleo fiction. It's a military sci-fi called Cry Havoc by Jack Hansen, I believe his name is. Very cool guy. And it's very different. It's not about, you know, people on Earth dealing with, like, replicated dinosaurs. It's very different. You know, it's a military academy thing with, you know, these 4 cadets as main characters in their little squad. And, this war starts up. And, okay, I'm not going to go into too much detail, and you're wondering, like, okay, you're talking about mil sci-fi. Where's the freaking dinosaurs in this? There are, there's actually dinosaur main characters in that there's this other alien race that is basically, they're genetic geniuses. They looked through some of Earth's old stuff and said, hey, we found dinosaur DNA. This stuff is really cool. So, cloned them, and then, like, gave them super intelligence and freaking power armor, which is just as awesome as you think it is. There's 2 main characters. There's, like, Broken Horn and... I forget the other, but they have these awesome things. Like, there's this T-Rex that has, these super-powered metallic arms so he can get in, like, hand-to-hand combat. He has rail guns and lasers mounted on his shoulders, missile pods. Broken Horn, he's this giant trike, and they bicker almost like an old married couple. It's very amusing. And yeah, Broken Horn, he's got, like, this power shield, he's got this energy lance on his shoulder, he's got artillery mounted on him. And that's just in the first one. In the second one are 4 cadets. All very good, by the way. I might do a vlog on it. Or most of these, for that matter. They actually get these Velociraptor partners that they can ride and stuff. And they get some really cool stuff, too. They have this metallic armor. One of them has, like, a portable mortar. They got power shields, I think. It's been a while since I read the second one, but very, very good. You know, that author, he's insidiously good. Because I'm not one for mil sci-fi for the most part. Like, I read Starship Troopers, I like the Halo books, Fall of Reach, and stuff like that. But for the most part, they're not my thing. So if it's getting me involved this passionately, you know he's got some serious skill going on. I love that crap. Alright, and now for the final one, which, I think it's number 6, number 7? Sorry, I'm not good with numbers. I cannot math. This one is far more recent, and that is alternate history, or alternate worlds, where history either kind of resembles ours or took a completely different route, and now we have completely different worlds where dinosaurs still exist. The PrimRP setting here is a good example of that. That's a good way to segue into that. You know, it's a world that's kind of developed like ours, not the same history, not countries, but technologically wise and culturally wise, very similar. But then there's this mysterious island where, you know, there are dinosaurs still alive. And I love that because with the Lost World setting, it's kind of one and done. You know, you get one adventure in, and after that, you know, if you try going back, it just doesn't hold the same magic. Same with, like, cloning. With Jurassic Park and stuff, you know, the sequels didn't hold up very well. Jurassic World, it's a soft reboot, but it was a really good example. But, again, it's inherently limited, and, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a style that, it's inherently limited. There's only so many times you can do that thing. But with the alternate history, you open up entire freaking worlds. You know, there's a lot of chances to do stuff. Let's see, there was one example which I have not read. It was basically like a different version of the American West where Native Americans had tamed dinosaurs and domesticated them. I haven't read it, but it's on my reading list, along with a bajillion other books. I'm a freaking book hoarder. Another example, one I did read, is, let me look it up here, Hunting Ground and Other Stories by Will Svensson. That one, I'm going to take a second to talk about that one because it's very interesting. It's a little anthology book. It's got it's got one major story, a few really short ones, and then like one or two novellas. The guy does have talent, but he seems to be trying to figure out his footing. Like, one of them was called The Wall, I believe, where it was like talking about this ancient wall. It does not take place on Earth. It's a completely different world, but technology and culture has developed very much like how it has in our setting, like our world. Yeah, dang, I am so freaking lost right now. So there are different tribes and histories, and some really cool stuff. But like The Wall, it was very poetic, had this real sense of intensity to it. I really liked it. It made this world feel deep. And then the main story was basically these two dinosaurs that were basically two Rexes had come into this section of land where they were completely unknown, and the people are like, what the heck are these? This is a totally new species. And but it doesn't go the Jaws route. They weren't dealing with, oh crap, did I pass the base? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm good. I think. Anyway, it was well written, but it lacked a sense of pacing. You know, it was a catch-22 of, you don't want to see the same, every time you see a dinosaur, you don't want it to necessarily be a monster. You know, you want to see something different. And he does that well, but at the same time, it lacked momentum. And I feel bad, because I hate bashing authors. I'm not trying to bash him, I'm just trying to analyze. But there were parts that just glowed to me, like, that's where the heart of the story is. That's where the passion is coming from. More of that, please. But I just wish all of it was like that. But I will give him this, and this is very high praise coming from me, is that I have never seen any other author portray dinosaurs in a more natural way. Like, often, they're portrayed with this sense of intensity, like, they're dangerous animals that want to kill, and they are, but this guy just gives such a beautiful example of, like, something different, of them not being these monsters, but they're just animals. You know, just doing their thing. You know, they'll defend themselves if they need to, but for the most part, they're just kind of doing their own thing. Sorry, I don't mean to repeat myself, but yeah, if you just want a book where dinosaurs are portrayed very realistically and very naturally, and not as monsters, you will love these freaking stories. You will. Like, I can't think of anyone else who has portrayed them more naturally. And, okay, that brings me to another example of the alternate history setting is my own writing. Okay, I'm a plug incoming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, yes, I am writing my own fictional setting called Primal Frontier. It's alternate history. It takes place in our world, where like the old world has pretty much developed how it has in our history. You know, Europe, Africa, China, but North and South America, totally gone. Instead, we have a huge supercontinent called Magna Terra by the European settlers and Zarawachi by the natives. And it's a mixture of, like, pulp, Weird West. You know, you have cowboys, hunters, farmers, gold panners, all this frontier stuff mixed in with dinosaurs and prehistoric wildlife, as well as lost civilizations. You know, it's very actiony. I try to keep the pace very fast, do a lot of world building. I love world building. So if you like the PrimRP here and want something similar, because it operates on a very similar premise, that's one reason I was just so stoked about joining, then you will probably like this writing. I admit, not all of my work is not perfect. I am not a good salesman for my own stuff because I'm the kind of person where I notice all of my flaws. Like, they're so evident to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking when I go back and read my stuff? I'm like, was I drunk when I was writing that? I don't even drink. Like, it's really embarrassing to me, but if you have a higher tolerance, or if you're not spoiled by really like writing that's borderline perfect, like Robert E. Howard or some of the other greats, like I've been kind of spoiled lately. Yeah, if you have, you know, if you like Arc, if you like PrimRP, if you like any of this stuff, you will probably like these. It's a setting that I've developed so that it's very deep. Like, it's not a one-and-done scenario. There's lots of them. You know, if you like Conan the Barbarian, if you like Turok, if you like Tarzan, if you like stories like that, if you like those old pulp stories, if you like westerns, if you like safaris, if you like that open world kind of feel, you will like this. But again, there are problems, but so far most people don't seem to be too worried about them. Like, I've gotten a few reviews and they're just consistently in the 4-star area, where I'm like, wow, that's more than I was expecting. I try to be humble about my production because nobody likes that snob who puts down others. That's why I always feel bad about mentioning flaws in other people's writing, because it seems like I'm trying to put them down to lift myself up, and that is not what I'm trying to do. Like, oh, I feel so bad anytime I feel like I'm doing that. And that's why I try to put praise on the guys who really deserve it, because there's a lot of them that do. There's so many talented indie writers out there. And, oh man, sorry for splurging like this, guys. I mean, if you like it, I'm glad, but I feel like I'm talking your ears off now. You know, you're probably thinking, like, get to the freaking gameplay, man. My gosh. And I'm gonna take these. Also, here is the main base. Laguna Negra. I love this place. It was such a good idea to join this clan. I had no idea that it was this big. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I just got my little homestead here. You know, nothing special, but it's ample. It's very, very nice. And gosh dang it. These automatic doors always throw me off. I feel like an Amish person trying to walk into a store with the automatic sliding doors. Yeah, just a little humble homestead here. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my pointless rambling. I'm actually going to leave some links in the descriptions for some of these books that I've mentioned. There's a few sites. I'm going to like link to, you know, some of these really talented guys because, you know, I want to support other authors. Sorry for the head bobbing there. Like, I want to support other people who are creating things. It's such a hard market, but it's so rewarding. I want people to enjoy this stuff. I'll talk more about that later, but yeah, I'm just very passionate about supporting all these people, whether it be artists, Whether it be comic makers, video game makers like this, I was happy to give Wildcard my money. So happy, because look at how much they've done. It's amazing. Yeah, especially writers, because the writing market right now, there's never been a better time for writing books, but also never a worse time. On one hand, the opportunities to write are better than ever before. You know, there's self-publishing. Before, it was extremely hard to get published at all. There was like a 99% rejection rate. But now with self-publishing, you can just take your own stuff out there whenever you want. On the other hand, there's more competition than ever before. It's not just with other books, but with media as a whole. You know, I'm not just competing against other writers. I'm competing against ARC here. I'm competing against Jurassic World. You know, and those seem like insurmountable odds, but you know, never underestimate fans or people who are enthusiastic. You know, I freaking love that stuff. I love these people who are so passionate. You know, the guys who are making this game, I can tell they enjoy what they do. You know, they want to make their people happy. They want to make their audience happy. You know, I thrive off of that. You know, that positivity, that just, it keeps reproducing. Almost like a positive plague or something. Okay, I think I'm gonna sign off now. Like, okay, gonna leave some links in there. Please check them out. If not, that's okay. You know, do whatever makes you happy. I don't want anyone to feel forced like they feel forced to have to do anything that I suggest. You know, I just want to spread that positivity and help out other people. Anyway, if you watched this long, thank you very much. I'm very flattered that you watched for this long. So, again, thank you all for watching this. I hope you enjoyed listening. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care, everyone. Eccentric Cowboy out.